Aquarius, this is your December 2023 soul story. If you have a sun rising or your moon is in the sign, you might find this resonates. Thanks for tuning into my channel. It's Romy for our final soul story of the year. Appreciate all your support in the last 12 months. We're going to open up this month with the energy of the Malika of Coins, the Queen of Coins. I think you are set to initiate a powerful offer this month, and it comes from a place of compassion. And even just a few weeks ago, I think you would almost have found it impossible to reconcile in your mind that you would be in a position or have the inclination to make this kind of an offer. And yet the context with which things now are appearing to you is helping to soften and also to strengthen certain connections, certain situations that actually really mean something to you. Now, the energy of December as a whole is actually bringing through this emotional current of healing, and it's enabling you to be somewhat carried through some of the experiences, acutely sensitive to how you feel, to the environment, and, aware and present enough to understand kind of what's surfacing for you. It's a highly emotive time of the year for many, for lots of different reasons. But we have this groundedness that's showing up for you with the Queen. And with that, a generosity of spirit. And when you give, you gain. And, sometimes when we're so fixated on seeking the reciprocity, it can almost put us more into an ego type energy. But at a soul level, what we give is always recognized. And so there's almost this attitude and approach that I see emerging from you in the month of December, Aquarius, that just says, I'm going to do what makes me feel good. I'm going to find that energy, that heart energy, to be compassionate, to extend offers and possibilities, to open up lines of communication, to have the meetings, to find resolution. And I'm going to do it because it's what makes me feel good, and it's what feels right to me, not because there's an expectation on any level for you to necessarily receive anything back. And I think with that kind of a attitude, you're really going to be able to make peace. And this is so important in December. Yeah, the making peace with the year, the making peace with the journey that you've been on, what you've had to go through, the rite of passage, the challenges. Because what we want is to be moving into the new year without the burden, the resistance, the heaviness that might have wrapped itself around us through the course of the last 12 months. And what you will experience in December is a releasing of that vice-like grip that has been so present, perhaps across multiple areas of your life and your growth. And we see you moving forward in this energy of peace and also protection as I see these angel wings coming through. You're looking towards the light, you're looking towards the horizon where you're seeing something new emerging for you. And there is a flood of information and energy that is available to each and every one of us through December that gives us the bridge, if you like, to be able to kind of make that quantum leap between what we've experienced through the course of 23 and what we're prepared for and now open and receptive to, because your frequency is lighter than it's ever been. And I know when I say words like flourish and grow and prosper and thrive, these can be incredibly triggering, like when you look around you at what is playing out. And yet when you look within you, you can find an ability to anchor into the energy of those words that does bring about a peace and a sense of certainty and trust and knowing. So therein lies your answer for December. Continue to seek within the experiences that you want to have, the beliefs that you hold, the faith that you are aligning with. And this is what's going to help carry you forward, like that emotional current. Now, we need to consistently be asking ourselves this month, am I coming from love or am I moving in fear? And there's a requirement for you to kind of stay on track here. Now, there's some practical things that are surfacing through the month of December for you, perhaps more than you expected to have to deal with as we sort of wind down. And yet, it seems worth your while to make the investment or to be willing to kind of create time to do some of these things, because you're setting something up for yourself. And as you nurture that garden, it's coming into bloom. Yeah, now remember, the earth is at an incredible in-between right now. So on a collective level, we're in between, which means on an individual level, we sit in the oceans between the shorelines. And in all honesty, we never really arrive at a time where we're on solid land. Our lifetimes exist in a state of perpetual transition. But there are still things that we tend to, things that we must do, that we must feel secure in, and create the routine and the structure and the sense of stability. And I think that you're showing me that there's necessary sort of intuitive nudges that are coming up. And, particularly around sort of things that you might need to address from a work perspective through the month of December, early on in the month. And, we'll see Venus moving into Scorpio on the 4th. And so what we have here from a value perspective is the need to kind of allow this rebirth almost of Scorpio to kind of inject, if you like, a little bit more confidence to the way you assert yourself, but also coming from a very authentic, truthful, honest place. There's a magnetism to Venus in Scorpio, which also bodes well if you are trying to achieve or do anything, work related in that early part of the month. Now, from a relationship perspective, it brings intensity, it brings passion, it brings the desire to want to bond and become deeply emotionally intimate. And with a month that has this emotional current and very healing energy, this could also be very helpful if you have really been experiencing some incredible turbulence or challenges in that area of your life. Now, Neptune goes direct on the 6th, and again, helping you to sort of realign to some of the ideas and the dreams that had to get put on hold, or you felt like no matter what step forward you took, you were being sent back to the beginning. And so, as you come to terms with a lot of these forward-moving planets and the energies of wrapping up, acknowledging, accepting, making peace, coming to terms with things through this month of December, there is actually new hope that's emerging for you, no matter how bleak your circumstances, no matter how challenging you may feel things are in any given situation. When the weight of it feels too much, you will find the strength to put it down, because the strength arises from the light that you carry, not the suffering that you attach to. And the Chariot is powering forward here. We're moving in a new direction. There's no stagnancy here. Yeah, you see the Six of Swords and the Chariot saying, okay, it's time to move. Now, on a more practical level, these also indicate travel. Not a surprise at this time of year, holiday season, when we might be embarking upon those trips to reconnect to loved ones. Now, bear in mind, we have a Mercury retrograde arriving on the 12th. And what you want to be prepared for is, making sure that those plans are secured, but you also perhaps have a plan B and C as to how you're going to get there, or the timing, or what sort of things might need to be put in place to kind of deliver a degree of flexibility should you need it. There's also a suggestion on a more practical note: if you are buying any gifts for the holiday season, do it early, because you're more likely to be having delays or things go missing or not turn up with that retrograde coming through. But for me, that's one of the more challenging aspects to the month. But overall, what we're seeing from an astrological perspective is a let up, and really the sense from the universe of just trying to give you stillness, trying to give you a moment. And what you will feel, perhaps more than any other year, Aquarius, is the desire to want to do things a bit differently this December. So how you celebrate, you know, the way in which you want to simplify or strip back. And again, it's just about putting things into context and, you know, what things really mean to you at this moment in time. Son of Staffs, more sort of travel, movement, energy here. And what I like is that you've got the enthusiasm and the wherewithal to kind of make something happen through the month of December, regardless of how depleted you may feel, or how beat up, you know, you could currently find yourself just from the exhaustion of the last 12 months. There is this respite or this kind of renewal that seems to be taking place. And we've got, you know, the new moon coming in Sagittarius on the 12th, and it activates the 12/12 portal same day. Now it's at 20 degrees, and there's an interesting kind of conversation with Uranus happening on that new moon. And so something a little bit unexpected. So you might find yourself, you know, saying yes to an invitation or making plans that feel quite last minute, which also sort of aligns with how Mercury vibes as well. So again, kind of keeping some of those plans quite loose so that you are in a position to be able to say yes to any opportunities that surface, especially in and around that middle part of December. Now that new moon, also you may feel someone is trying to run rings around you, okay? And that can feel a little bit intense, you know, Venus and Scorpio kind of adding into that mix. You know, people have a really clear, focused agenda, and you might be feeling that, and it might not be your agenda, yeah? So there's also this slight split in the energetic field where you're like trying to manage that type of energy coming at you at the same time as trying to assert yourself and actually deal with the things that are most important to you through the course of December. That said, you still show me as being, you know, this really powerful blend of being kind of grounded and quite confident and capable and balanced in terms of how you're showing up to situations, experiences, people, but at the same time feeling quite liberated and having this energy, this gusto that just says, okay, let's do it, let's try, let's go, let's be. And, you know, that combination, I think, and your ability to sort of be able to move between, given whatever is arising at different moments through the month, will be the thing that really helps to carry you through. Okay. And, you know, you are in a place where I think the universe is setting you on a course that is going to feel a bit unexpected. You know, there might be something that surfaces through December, and it could just be the taster. It could just be the very beginning seed of something. And yet you feel it so powerfully, inextricably, like so, oh, like this is kind of what I've waited for. This, like, I don't know why, but I just can't not sort of follow through or kind of see where this takes me. And again, that willingness, that trust in the process and trust in the things that are showing up for you also kind of demonstrates back to you like how much you've grown and how open you are now to listening and trusting to that higher wisdom that's coming through from you. Now, as the sun shifts into Capricorn from the 21st and we celebrate beautiful solstice energy, what we're seeing happening around this time for you is, again, this moment of just really being able to come to terms with something. And I feel like it's something that you never would have expected that you could have arrived at that energy or that feeling. Perhaps you struggled to forgive somebody. Perhaps you were really not able to get over the disappointment or the setback, or you couldn't possibly see somebody's point of view. But, you know, all of a sudden, like the energies and how they coalesce around that time are bringing a different meaning to something for you. And again, it just shows your willingness to be open enough to grow from your own experiences. And, you know, we talked a lot about this last month, just the ability to be able to change your mind, have a change of heart, have a change of perspective based on what you're now feeling into. Solstice will be a beautiful time to really celebrate and acknowledge, and there's something on a heart level. This is a month where there are like a convoy of gifts arriving spiritually, emotionally, and energetically. So don't look in the direction of what shows up materialistically. although, you know, I think there'll be some things that might surprise you in the positive in that way, but more towards, you know, the things that are genuinely helping you to become a better person, or you know, see something in such a new light. That's the real gift that you'll move away from this month and close out this year with. Now, on the actual holiday season, should you celebrate Christmas, you know, we have this really lovely Venus trine Neptune, and it's nice because the last couple of years we've had some intense kind of aspects showing up right on those days, you know. But we have Venus trining Neptune on the 25th, and the 26th we have our second full moon in Cancer. First one was all the way back on January the 6th. So this one is sort of like a reminder of what we were releasing and letting go of, the revelations that announced themselves and how they activated us. And here we have this harmonious conversation with Jupiter and Saturn. We also have Chiron, the wounded planet, stationing direct. So it's a really healing, compassionate energy that genuinely helps us to draw a line, but find peace and look for those resolutions. And, you know, we move toward the end of the month with then Jupiter stationing direct on the 30th. And so overall, the experience of that second part of December definitely feels like it's trying to create a more harmonious environment for you to be able to foster for yourself, like a more tempered, a more understanding, a more loving vibrational energy. And so, you know, it's not working against us, it's working with us. And of course, it still needs to be your intentionality towards finding that outcome, that you can live with, that you can make peace with. And also sort of appreciating and understanding that sometimes it's bigger than you and we have to get out of our own way. And that holding on to resistance and holding on to energy in any way, shape or form that creates a negative feeling for us is never going to serve us in the long term. So we've got some incredibly powerful energies like supporting and driving you forward. Now, when Jupiter goes direct, you will also see some sort of a gift arriving for you over those days. Remember all the blessings were going on in the internal expansion in the retrograde season. Now it needs to be mirrored in the external. If you've done the work, if you've really been looking at those ways in which you grow, the benevolence and the magnification of Jupiter around that time should help bring something in around the end of the year, early part of the new year, that makes you, you know, really align and connect into the heart chakra in a beautiful way. And this is what we want to see. Now, if you're new to the channel, our last 3 cards we cover in the extended version of my reading talk for another 30 minutes or so. We'll also look at a personal question, a relationship card, and for this month we'll also do a preview, a major arcana for your year ahead. What is your card for the year ahead? We'll look at that too. If you want to join me, you can find all the links and descriptions beneath. I'm going to go ahead and clarify the reading now just to see some of the messages that we will be looking into. Now, this month for my soul journeys, I've done a beautiful series of affirmations to support those of you that, you know, feel more challenged around this holiday season, especially connected into family, to abundance, you know, to your personal health and well-being. And we've also got a beautiful closing ceremony for the year to help you release the energy of 2023. So again, please check these out. They're here to support you in your soul work and your soul journey. Okay, 4 of Swords. Empress, beautiful. All the decks I use are always listed in the comment and description box underneath Aquarius. Remember, you know, Chiron stationing direct, wounded healer. A lot of the healing is now, you know, being realized by you, coming to light. And of course, the ripples of pain and upset at what we're perceiving, what we're being shown, you know, what we know others are experiencing runs deep. And I do think it will have a huge impact on how it shapes your experiences of this particular month, of this particular year. Love seeing that star coming in there over the 10 of Cups. Okay, let's have a look at some oracle cards for you. Life Soul Vision is my own deck. You will find details of this over on my website along with my other sacred titles, beautiful gifts for yourself or loved ones, but just remember, try and get in ahead of time so Mercury retrograde doesn't impact you on receiving anything. Spirit Stag, Heavenly Timing. We have Earth Star Energy, Sacred Ceremony. We have Throat Energy, Energetic Expression. Enlightened in the Exhale, Casting Out Constellations. And Cosmic Rebellion. Beautiful cards showing up here for your wrapping up of the year. Okay, let's have a look at angels and ancestors. Magic Guardian, unlock the magic within. Okay, beautiful. And finally, last oracle card for Aquarius for December. You have reindeer medicine. I love that we have the echo of that showing across 2 decks here. Journey into the depths of your soul and awakening of sights revealed. It is time for no time at all, for all is presently here. That's beautiful. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you will continue the conversation on the extended with me. Please check out the Soul Journeys affirmations in our closing ceremony. I appreciate all your support this year and all the ways that you show up for me. And I can't wait to see you again in 2024. You take good care, look after yourself and those you love. Have a peaceful holiday season, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.